Tony Abbott. We just feel that he's a maggot straight out, so we just call him Tony Abbott the maggot.
We are here to say, Tony Abbott, we will resist you every step of the way.
I've been sitting at home watching Abbott slowly but surely take away every single thing that makes this country beautiful, whether it's the love of our people, the land, the environment, our forests. To say it makes me angry is an understatement.
Climate change is the most significant issue facing our planet, and this government is running away from doing anything about it.
The Australian government is mentally torturing people.
Refugee rights, the way the government's treating it now is absolutely horrendous. I think it's just horrible. Environmental concerns, the privatisation of the CSIRO education part.
The government wants to cut and gut higher education and make it so that working class and poor students are unable to attend university.
We lose more people to suicide every year in Australia than we do on the roads. And the Abbott government, not only don't they have a mental health minister, they haven't even mentioned it.
You shouldn't be trying to disadvantage workers and workers' families. You shouldn't be putting them on the dole. You should be supporting industries that create new industries and new skills for people, or otherwise young people will not have a job.
It's important to unite the clans, many people from different fights.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Tony Abbott's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Tony Abbott!
No way!
We're gonna fight him all the way!
Tony Abbott! No way!
We're gonna fight him all the way!
The Australian government, in response to protests of people in detention, just like we saw on Manus Island, received beatings. They received tear gassing. They are shot at, both with rubber bullets on Christmas Island and with live ammunition, as was on Manus Island. The people who speak out are locked up in isolation cells.
We're letting the Great Barrier Reef be trashed. Well, not in our name.
If you like the fact that we've got environmental laws, industrial legislation, local content provisions on our televisions, pharmaceutical benefit scheme, which makes medicines largely affordable for most people, then you're against the TPP.
Tony Abbott needs to stop! We all want our country back! Tony Abbott needs to stop! We all want our country back! Tony Abbott needs to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Tony Abbott's got to go!
I'm quite an avid Facebooker because I want to learn more what's going on in the world, and I find I can't get any information from Murdoch media. But 2.5 months ago now, somebody put a post up there that they'd had enough and they were going to organise a march. So that was it.
I'm fighting against the first Western Australian uranium mines. I attended shareholders meeting for Torra Energy to fight with Elder Glenn Cook, and my fights sort of started since then.
Let Australian uranium not fuel any more Fukushimas. Those people are suffering terribly. East Timor, how dare we try to minimise the rights of one of the newest nations and one of the poorest nations on earth in an argument over oil. It is a disgrace. It's an absolute shame.
Australia must stop supporting US imperialist wars. Australia must pursue a peaceful foreign policy. Australia must put her people first before the aspirations of power of politicians. Australia must get US military bases out and no more wars.
In general, the government wants to cut $900 million out of higher education. Governments are setting out to cut funding to health and to education. They know they don't want people directing their anger towards them, so they try to create a boogeyman. Blame those refugees. They're the ones that are doing this to you.
The Abbott slaughterhouse. You know, cut. It's not pretty, but their cuts are all in the wrong place.
1% of us owns half the wealth. That leaves 99% to share what's left. And then if 60 cents on each tax dollar is buying bombs to blow the planet into bits, then I think we need to grab them by the collar and patiently explain to them that that's tax the rich, tax
one of the new petitions that's circulating today is in opposition to the F-35 fighter jets. Now, there's a cut that the government could make. Millions and millions of dollars going into fighter jets that we don't need.
The reason why Abbott's doing these things is because he's representing a corporate agenda. In social science, what we're pushing forward as the first step to that process of breaking the power of the corporations is to bring the minds and the banks under public ownership. That way, we can actually stop these corporations to do whatever they want in their own interests and actually make democratic decisions about which mining process we're going to do, how we're going to make it environmentally sustainable, how we're going to look after the earth's rights.
The people you see here today are from all different walks of life. They're from minorities, they're from people who generally aren't heard, and it's really beautiful to be part of a movement that acknowledges that and that builds on it, that allows us who wouldn't normally be heard to have a voice.
We need to reject the Tony Abbott version of the world. We need to say no to their racism, say no to their sexism, to their homophobia, say no to the mandatory detention and to their continued attacks on refugees, because we have far more in common with those who risk everything to get their family's safety than we do with the governments who attack them or these private companies who profit off their misery.
When we say we are going to resist Tony Abbott every step of the way, we're going to put forward a positive alternative, which is people power, democracy in the streets. This is where democracy is happening, not in Parliament.